Once upon a time, Homer, the great poet of all time, wrote a wonderful epic, the Odyssey. The Odyssey describes the wanderings of Odysseus after the fall of Troy, on land and sea, in tranquility and in unrest, in countries distant and dreamlike. One of those beautiful exotic countries on which the waves washed Odysseus was the island of the Phaeacians. The island was ruled by Alcinous, whose daughter was the enchanting Nausicaa. Odysseus spent unforgettable hours and months and years on the marvelous island of the Phaeacians, because it was none other than the island of Corfu, the nymph of the Ionian Sea. The island's exceptionally well-placed geographic location and its abundant natural beauties favored its inhabitation from the Paleolithic period. According to myth, prior to Homer, Corfu, or Kerkyra, as it is known in Greek, took its name from the nymph Kerkyra, who was the daughter of Asopos. From Olympus, Zeus saw her, fell madly in love with her, clasped her in his arms, and brought her to the island. Zeus and Kerkyra produced a child, Phaeacus. For this reason, Corfu has been known since then as the island of the Phaeacians. Opposite Corfu is the Epirus coast, from which the first settlers of the island came. On the western coast of Corfu, archaeologists have found buried settlements dating back to the Bronze Age, 2000 BC. Up to 1204, when Constantinople was conquered by the Franks, Corfu knew many and various enemies. From 1207 to 1214, the island was brought under the rule of Epirus. From 1388 to 1797, Corfu was under Venetian sovereignty. The Venetians fortified the island well, with walls and fortresses, which can still be seen today. The Turks made frenzied endeavors in the 15th century to conquer the island, but with no result. In the 17th century, the island flourished greatly in literature and the arts up to the 19th century. In 1864, Corfu was incorporated into Greece. During World War II, the island suffered enormous destruction by the Italians and the Germans. Today, Corfu is a quiet, peaceful island, one of the most beautiful islands in Greece and in the entire world. To come to Corfu from Athens, visitors can board a ferry boat with their automobiles from Patras or Igoumenitsa. For those who wish to visit Corfu by air, there is an excellent, ultra-modern airport with flights connecting the island to a number of airports in Greece and Europe. In the summer, Corfu is linked daily by ferry boat with Brindisi, Ancona, and Bari in Italy. The starting point is Igoumenitsa. Two high mountains divide the island into three sections. The highest peak is Pantokratoras, at a height of 906 meters. The northern section of the island features many small green valleys. Large groves of olive trees, scattered throughout many regions of Corfu, produce the Corfiot oil, famous for its fine quality. The central section of the island is perhaps the most important as a whole. Visitors are dazzled by the unique, vivid colors of nature. Luxuriant vegetation, densely covered hills, small plains full of fruit-bearing trees, scattered traditional villages, modern roads that facilitate overland transport throughout the region, with the island's capital, Corfu, at the center of the road network. An international tourist center with excellent infrastructure that meets the very highest standards, Corfu today constitutes a meeting place for well-known politicians, artists, and other international celebrities who come to spend their summer vacations on this stunningly beautiful island. In the town center, one can see how harmoniously the Venetian architecture blends with the traditional Greek. Here, visitors are overwhelmed by uplifting emotions, an indescribable feeling of optimism about life, of pleasure, and of love. Leafy squares, flower-filled parks, buildings that endure through the ages. Cafes, fashionable shops, a world full of creative trends. This is Corfu and its residents. Built in the middle of the western side, the town is located in almost the same position as the ancient city. In antiquity, the city extended a little further south than today, while its center was situated at Paleopoli. In the present-day cemetery, sections of the island's ancient fortifications can still be seen today. The ancient Acropolis was located on the hill of Mont Repos and Analipsi. In the Mont Repos property, which in the past was the residence of the royal family, important temples were discovered. The greatest of these was the temple constructed in the late 6th century BC. Here, visitors can explore the palace of the Austrian Queen Elizabeth. On a pedestal is the statue of Achilles, taking the arrow from his heel. At the entrance to the palace, visitors can admire the marble statues of the 9 Muses. Superbly painted ceilings, paintings, and 3 etchings by classical artists. Works of art and heirlooms of past centuries adorn the Achilleon. One of the most important churches on the island today is the Church of Agios Spiridonas. It was constructed in the late 16th century to replace the older church of Saroko. Inside the Agios Spiridonas church, the saint's venerable relics are kept. Numerous churches with unique frescoes, valuable wood-carved icon screens, relics and icons adorn the island of Corfu. Venetian fortifications, which began in the 15th century and continued up to the end of the Venetian domination, are still preserved today, impressing visitors. During the era of Venetian occupation, there was already a small fortress on the little promontory on the eastern coast. At the time, a small settlement, Xopoli, was situated outside the wall of the fortress. On the south side of the old citadel, we can admire the impressive church of St. George, built in the 19th century. Corfu's old town is of special interest to tourists. In honor of the island's patron saint Spiridonas, each year the inhabitants of Corfu hold a splendid ceremony, taking the venerable relics of the saint through the town's main streets. These events is attended by prominent state and religious personalities. The Archbishop of Athens and all Greece, Christodoulos, blesses the people. Old customs and traditions are revived every year, attracting thousands of local and foreign visitors who gather in the town's central square to enjoy the unusual spectacle. One of the town's finest buildings is the town hall, as well as the Spilya barracks. Splendid 17th and 18th century buildings stand unchanged, in excellent condition, emphasizing the very special character of the town and the entire island. The Ionian Parliament and the palaces of St. Michael and George, which were built in the 18th century, were utilized as residence for the British High Commissioners and subsequently for the Greek royal family. The coastal Murayo Road is like a natural balcony from which visitors can admire the panorama of the old and the new town. The Archaeological Museum, which is open every day, houses sculptures from the temples of Artemis, as well as bronze statues, coins, finds from the 4th century BC up to the Roman period, and prehistoric ceramic works. In this building above the Ionian Bank is the Numismatic Museum of Corfu. Visitors here have the opportunity to admire the collections of Greek and foreign banknotes, as well as coins dating back to the 19th century and early 20th century. Three kilometers from the town, in the area of Analipsi, is the Kanoni Peninsula. In this town, the ancient Phaeacians had built palaces and temples during the period of their zenith. The fragmentary sections that can be found today of the early Christian church in the ancient port are important finds in the area of Paleopoli. This is the monastery of Hagia Euphemia. The famous Kanoni is one of Corfu's best-known attractions. The unique beauty of this region, with its lace-like coastline, rich vegetation, and serene environment, is known throughout the world. From here, visitors have access to the monastery and the church of the Virgin of Vlacherna, built on the picturesque little islet. From Kanoni, tourists can also visit Pontikonisi. According to myth, this tiny tree-filled islet with the Pantokrator Church is a petrified ship of the Phaeacians. Visitors are amazed and impressed by its fairy tale beauty. One of the most cosmopolitan areas of Corfu is Dacia, which is situated approximately 13 kilometers from town. Also located here is the internationally renowned holiday center of Club Mediterranee. Yet another famous resort center is Ipsos. It is about 15 kilometers from the town of Corfu. It is worth taking the trouble to visit the charming little town of Cassiope, which is located some 36 kilometers from the island's capital. Sidari is a truly enchanting place. It is located about 35 kilometers from the town of Corfu, heading towards the north. The lush vegetation, the pretty little bays with their warm sand, the deep blue water, and the incredibly beautiful rock formations rising out of the sea give the beaches of Sidari the atmosphere of exotic Pacific Ocean islands. Still preserved at Sidari are the ruins of a Venetian citadel and the famous Canal d'Amor. Small excursion boats set out from here, taking visitors to the little islets of Othoni, Erikusa, and Mathraki. Paleokastritsa. Here, Homer's legend epic, the Odyssey, comes alive. Here, tradition places the palace of King Alkinos. Here, Nausicaa brought Odysseus, when the sea waves washed him up, on the hospitable shore, in the vicinity of Hermones. Here, the fishermen say that the small islet is none other than Odysseus's boat, which turned into stone. The beach of Paleokastritsa is world-renowned as a favorite resort for the international jet set. Here in the summer months, visitors can experience an earthly paradise. The serene landscape, with its undulating, luxuriant green mountains, rolling down and caressing the beaches, the sea, with its shades of deep blue, mingling with the sparkling sand, the superb view from here of the sunset, every nook and cranny of this peaceful place paints a marvelous picture of memories for visitors. At Paleokastritsa, there is a monastery that was founded in 1228. Remarkable Byzantine and post-Byzantine icons are kept in the small museum. Corfu, where relaxation and high life meet in an unforgettable mix, where peaceful sunny days merge into lively nights filled with today's sounds and rhythms. The nightlife in Corfu excites the mind and bewitches the senses. There are literally hundreds of night spots, taverns, bars, pastry shops, cafes. At night, the town never sleeps.
Wow, I feel good. I knew that I would not. Ow, I feel good.
It is a place of moonlit revelry for tourists, young and old, men and women, intoxicated by the multicolored lights, the Venetian nooks and crannies, the tastefully decorated night spots. They come to enjoy the pleasures of each unique moment, creating memories that last forever. Don't miss the Corfu nightlife. It pulsates to a rhythm that never fails to surprise. Close to Corfu are two small enchanting islands, Paxi and Antipaxi. Their traditional houses, churches, harbors, and sandy beaches will remain indelibly etched in your memory. Visit the rocky Meganisi Island with a small kayak. You can explore the Papa Nicolis Cave, among the other unique caverns. Corfu, the island of luxury hotels. Here, discerning visitors who love the good life will find the ideal conditions to meet their needs. Super deluxe hotels with swimming pools and gardens, with superbly decorated suites and rooms, with spacious living rooms and bars, satisfy the most discerning tastes. Luxury hotels are scattered throughout all the best areas of Corfu, together with small harbors to moor yachts and sailboats. At the same time, for visitors who don't wish to spend large sums of money, there are hotels, guest houses, and rooms for rent to suit every pocket, all tailored to offer the very best in accommodation. Holidays in Corfu means holidays in paradise. Visit the island of the Phaeacians, an island of history and myths. The carefree island for fun and romance. Enjoy special moments, nestled in the warm embrace of the sandy beaches, caressed by the hot sun and soothed by the cold sea. The sunny sky, the leafy greenery, the sea waves, surfing, the deep blue of the sea, the landscape, leaving life's problems behind, spectacular sunrises and sunsets. This is Corfu. Corfu. Live life today and remember it forever.